You don't have to be a corporate donor to make a big impact on someone's life. That's what Barbara Balli has shown us in this podcast. She's been a very special giver to the Rose, and she does it by putting pink extensions, yes, that's pink hair, in people's hair for the month of October. Barbara tells us why breast cancer is important to her and why giving of her talents and her time is so special to her. She also says she's the lowest paid psychiatrist in town, and when you listen to this podcast, you're going to hear why. When you subscribe to our show, you help us grow. Someone you know may need to hear this story, so please share with your family and friends and consider supporting our mission at therose.org. Let's talk about your breast. A different kind of podcast presented to you by The Rose, a breast center of excellence and a Texas treasure. You're going to hear frank discussions about tough topics, and you're going to learn why knowing about your breast could save your life. Barbara, thank you so much for coming in today. And just for our listeners to know, Barbara is my hairdresser. Is that what we call our hairstylist now, hairdresser?
Sometimes.
Yeah, but for me, she's someone that I can really talk to and who is a great listener. And what is it you said that you were told going into this business?
My cosmetology instructor informed me that we would be the lowest paid psychiatrist in town. And she's absolutely correct.
And you are. Every woman will understand this, This is just someone you can trust and talk to.
There's just something about the chair they sit in, and that's it.
And having that attention on us for just a minute. Yeah.
But I love it.
Oh, I know you do. You wouldn't still be doing this, and you wouldn't have multi-generations of people coming to you if you were not excellent at what you do.
Well, thank you.
And now we're here today to talk a little bit about how you support the Rose.
Yes, ma'am.
And also about your experience in knowing a lot of different people who have had the breast cancer experience, who have been diagnosed, and it's just no stranger to you at all.
No, but a lot of that comes with my job because I do so many women, and so many women are affected by breast cancer. Mm-hmm. So I have been affected by breast cancer because of them. Mm-hmm. I am blessed that I have no family history of breast cancer, just client family history. And I call my clients my family because they are. I've shaved many heads in my chair. I've shed many tears. I've prayed. I've hit my knees at points when somebody so close to me has been diagnosed. I've done their hair for the last time knowing that they weren't going to make it. So that's why breast cancer has affected me. Mm-hmm.
So tell us a bit about one of a very special person to both of us, Jessica.
Yes. I met Jessica in 2009. She just moved into the area to where my salon was at the time, and she walked in to get her hair done. And for some reason, the good Lord put us together, and we've been together ever since. Jessica then brought her son Matt to me when he was in 5th or 6th grade. He was young, and I got sort of attached to him. And now he's a grown man, married, and has his own home, and we are family. Jessica, Matt, Brooklyn, Mike, we're family. In 2014, she came to work for the Rose. Uh-huh. That's how I found out about the Rose. Mm-hmm. And so we talked a lot about it within that year, and I said, wonder what I could do to support the Rose. So we came up with this brilliant idea that I would do pink hair extensions. So I got my salon involved, and the month of October, we did pink hair extensions, and we charged a donation only. My first year I made $150. Jessica said, but that's okay because I paid for one mammogram.
Right.
So she was excited about it, and I was like, but it was $150. She goes, no, that's great. And then the next year, I think it was a few hundred, and it has increased quite a bit.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
since
it's
then,
huge now.
yeah.
Yes.
And I get excited every year when it goes up $1 more. I just get excited. People that don't know the rose are missing out because it means so much more than helping women with breast cancer. It's helping uninsured women with breast cancer. And I was uninsured for many years because I'm self-employed.
Right.
And so knowing there was some place out there I could go if I needed to. Right. But anyway, back to Jessica. That was when she came to work for the Rose. In 2020, Jessica came in to get her hair done, just like she did every 6 weeks. And we did her hair. And I said, okay, so when do you want to come in next? Because we pre-booked. That's just what we do. And she said, I need to talk to you. And I said, what's up? So she asked me to stand in front of her because I had a little cubicle and she didn't want the whole salon to be informed in all this. And she told me then that she was diagnosed with breast cancer. That's the one I hit my knees on. I was like, no, this can't happen. And she looked at me, she goes, but I'm going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Jessica has got to be one of the strongest women I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh, I can vouch for that.
And I know you can.
Yeah.
She's amazing. But like Kirk said to you earlier, she did it for her, but her family. Mm-hmm. She had Brooklyn. Brooklyn was very young, and she didn't want Brooklyn to be scared. Mm-hmm. So she put on such a front for her. And I know it was a front at times. But the hardest part was, I didn't get to see Jessica. It was during COVID.
Right.
And I could talk to her when she was feeling up to it. Mm-hmm. But I had Matt to lean on and Mike. I could question them and ask them about her and how she was doing. In my world, Jessica chose to do the cold cap, which I found extremely interesting. Mm-hmm. I had never heard of it before, and it was something I got to pass on to my clients that were being diagnosed with breast cancer.
Right.
Because women don't want to lose their hair. Mm-mm. They just don't. Mm. And if there's some way out there to stop that from happening, that's a miracle.
Oh, it is, yes.
And so I learned that from Jessica on the cold cap.
And there's a lot more success with it now than ever, even though there's still a reluctance for doctors to recommend it, simply because it's still new, and there is, just for our listeners to understand, it is a different technique. It does require the patient to really be determined to do this because it's not comfortable. And it is one of those out-of-pocket expenses that not everyone can handle, but it has made such a difference.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And Jessica probably lost a good 35 to 40% of her hair, but that's better than all of it.
Right.
Anyway, that's what I learned through Jessica's treatment was that. But that's probably been the hardest hit one was her.
So, Barbara, you almost just ran over what it is that you do during October, and I don't want to lose that because we talk about these hair extensions. It's kind of like, and I'm going to use some language you might not, but you're drumming up business come about September or even earlier. I've got the pink hair coming. Are you going to be using your pink hair again or having your pink hair? People are calling you from everywhere, and you gave up Mondays to be here with us, and our staff was able to have their pink hair extensions. I mean, that was such a gift. And, everyone was so excited to get that because, they just wouldn't have done that. I believe even our male radiologist, you put something in his hair.
Dr.
Yes.
Ross, yes.
Yeah.
Dr. Ross, he's a great sport. Yeah. We did it last year, and he was back for it again this year.
This year, yes. So, and then on your other Mondays during that month, you're going to other places to do the same. I mean, that's your gift to us. It's more than just the dollars. The dollars are amazing, and we so appreciate it. But you're you're really giving your time and your talent. And that's the thing that I think makes any volunteer, anyone who helps the Rose or any other organization, it's just so amazing.
Well, I thank you for that. I do. And yes, I thank your family health care. They are big supporters of me and big supporters of the Rose.
Yes.
For allowing me to come into their medical clinics.
And they called you and said, are you coming back?
Right.
Yes.
They wanted me to come back, which was a blessing. They are a blessing. They're a big donation to me, which means I get to donate to you. Right. So they're very important. But my clients that year after year after year have come in and gotten their pink hair extensions. And I have a lot that don't get the pink hair extensions that just want to donate. And because they can't have them for work or there's reasons, but they still, there's a gentleman in my life, he's like my brother. He can't have pink hair. He doesn't have any hair. But every year he comes by my shop and drops off a $20 bill and towards the Rose. Hey. So it's just those people that make it work. It really is. It's not me. I don't mind. I love supporting the Rose. I love you, Dorothy, and I love Jessica, and your staff is amazing. I have so much fun when I'm up here with them.
Oh, I know. They look forward to this. They're in line waiting on you.
It's fun.
Yes, but it is fun. And you go to both centers, and you even invited our folks that are in the field to come to your shop and have it done. So that is one way you allowed our folks to really be a part of October. And, when I wear mine, people will go, because you're so good at kind of tucking it in like it's part of your hair. And it's almost like they want to say to me, you've got something in, it's pink hair. It is just, it's fun.
Yes.
And for me.
Normally I have the pink hair in, but I have to say I just cut my hair, so I haven't put it back in. But I've had people stop me in the store, where did you get that? I know where you can get that.
That is so neat. So, Barbara, I know you have women in your chair that are going through breast cancer, and I know they talk to you. What is it you hear the most?
They're scared. It's the fear of the unknown. And the way I can help them is through everybody else that's already sat in my chair that has been through it and what they've done. But women are afraid. It's a scary. I don't know how they feel.
Right.
I don't.
But you know what you hear.
But I know what I hear.
And who wouldn't be scared?
Right.
Right.
And, a lot of them will say, well, it's just stage 1, so I'm going to be okay. Well, okay, but you still need to jump on it and get it done. Right. If it's stage 4, you can still beat it. You can still beat it. I have many friends that have beat it. Today's, golly, it's come so far.
Oh, it has.
So far. Yes. That you, honestly, I haven't heard of someone dying of breast cancer in my chair in a long time.
And that is one of the changes in the breast cancer world is we have a lot more survivors and we have a lot more quality of life left. There was a time when that just wasn't an option, but that's not today.
Yeah, and I'll tell you another thing, Dorothy, that I've heard a lot in my chair lately is the men with breast cancer. That, I think, has increased. Wow.
We see somewhere between 100 and 150 men every year coming in for some change in their chest. Not all are diagnosed, but many have cysts. And the problem is until and we do mammograms on men, until you get it diagnosed, until you have a definite diagnosis, you don't know. You can't just say, oh, that's just a cyst or that's just gynecomastia. It often is just that. But that's a great thing to say to our listeners. If your significant other, your brother, your son come to you with something and go, oh, I've had this little place on my chest for a while, they need to get it checked.
Yeah, like I said, that's something fairly new I'm hearing. But that's dangerous. That's scary because a lot of men aren't very good about.
Oh, no. And they're not very good about telling us when they've felt something.
Right.
But hopefully that's another part that is changing in this world.
Yeah.
So what do you hope for your granddaughter? What kind of future do you hope for her?
Oh, my gosh. Now you're going to get me. For my granddaughter?
Let's just say she's the light of your life. But that might be putting it too strongly, I guess.
Yeah, well, I have two granddaughters now. I only had one for many years, but I have two now. And yes, all my grandchildren are the light of my life. They are. Just understand, I had 3 sons, 5 grandsons, and then came along a girl, which I always wanted a daughter. So, yeah, she was on a pedestal for many, many years, and she still is. For all of my grandkids, but my granddaughters, I want them to learn how to take care of themselves. I want them to know how important it is to get a mammogram or a well woman check or just anything. I wish for them happiness, health, and stability. But most of all, I wish my grandchildren, all of them, independence.
Ooh, that's a big wish.
That's what I wish.
Yes, especially for girls.
Yes, my mother instilled independence in me. My mother was a Marine, and there was no other way. You are never going to need anybody, and that's just how it's going to be.
Oh, goodness. That's a big message.
She was, and that, but it was a good message. And I want my granddaughters and my grandsons, but my granddaughters to take care of them.
Right.
The rest will come.
You can want someone, but that having to need
is
a whole big difference.
That's the world, period. You can want and need things, and I tried to teach my boys that. I tried to teach my boys that. You want this or do you need this?
Right.
But because there is a difference. But I want my grandchildren to want.
That is such a good wish for the future for them. I suspect they're going to get there, Barbara.
I sure hope so.
With you as an example, oh my gosh.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Thank you for being here and for sharing and giving people inspiration and hope. And, you're a perfect example of there is nothing too great or too small that you can't do that could help us. I mean, who would have thought that your hair extensions are almost as much as most of our grants? Think about that. That's huge. So,
Wow.
Boy, it means a lot of women get care. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy. You're the best.
Thank you for joining us today on Let's Talk About Your Breasts. This podcast is produced by Speak Podcasting and brought to you by The Rose. Visit therose.org to learn more about our organization. Subscribe to our podcast, share episodes with friends, and join the conversation on social media using hashtag Let's Talk About Your Breasts. We welcome your feedback and suggestions. Consider supporting The Rose. Your gift can make the difference to a person in need. And remember, self-care is not selfish. It's essential.